The name Chrisean Rock used to reverberate amid the tumult of debate, passion, and stardom. And another storm struck right as the internet seemed she could finally be getting her life in order. However, it's not Blueface this time. No, there's something deeper and darker here. Everyone is pointing fingers as the internet catches fire once more. Her brief association with the prize Bino has come to an end, but the cause was unexpected. It initially appeared to be a simple breakup, a brief affair that ended. Poof, gone after 3 months together. However, the internet exploded when Bino opened his mouth. His remarks revealed more than just their split. The picture Chrisean had been trying to keep together for months was ripped open. He verified every rumor and hearsay regarding her way of life, parenting style, and disorder. However, it wasn't even the worst. They were stunned by what Bino then disclosed about their kid. Chrisean Jr. Twitter became a war in a matter of minutes. Incredulous fans screamed. Others claimed to have anticipated this. "I knew she was hiding something," one commenter commented. "Her entire essence was just revealed by that man." Another said she can't continue to blame Blueface indefinitely. She is this person. Not only did Bino feel betrayed, but so did all others who had previously stood up for her. The public's perception. Oh, Chrisean was being watched in real time via the internet. That tattoo of Blueface's face, according to Bino, was the last straw. That one, indeed. The emblem of a history that will not die. He claimed that he pleaded with her to hide it, to go on to start anew. However, she declined. "I'm leaving if..." "She can't hide that," Bino declared during a televised tirade. His voice wavered between anger and grief. "Even though I was deeply in love, I had to break it off. I was becoming less of myself." People began to realize that this was more than simply a split at that point. This was yet another chapter in the recurring pattern of Chrisean's self-destruction. Every image, video, and post she ever made about parenthood, love, and loyalty was scrutinized by the internet. People were asking, is this love or is this chaos disguised as attention? The Blueface tattoo came to represent everything she was unable to let go of, including her identity, trauma, and obsession. What specifically was Bino hinting at regarding her child is the question that everyone is now asking. What did he mean when he said that she has been concealing the truth? Because this whole narrative might change from a celebrity split to a public meltdown if what insiders are speculating about online turns out to be accurate. Additionally, Chrisean Rock may have to deal with her greatest career reckoning, one from which she cannot be rescued by a public relations team, music, or social media live. It was best expressed by Bino. "She would have crushed my heart had I not pulled myself together." To be honest, the warning signs were present from the very beginning. Under the cover of pair goals, what everyone believed to be romance was actually a ticking time bomb. They appeared flawless on social media. Even with the kind captions and matching smiles, something didn't feel quite right. People felt it. Even Bino's baby mama went public, giving the whole thing the side eye. And who could overlook that video that went viral? On camera, Chrisean kisses his toes. It did indeed occur. And it appeared to be pandemonium wrapped around desperation rather than love. Things quickly got out of control. Their alleged romantic getaway at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas from September 19 to 23 was actually a circus that was broadcast live to the world. Viewers stated they could smell the chaos through the TV as they streamed live from hotel rooms full of shouting, smoke, and children. Disbelief-filled comment sections. A supporter stated, "You can literally hear the gas and see the smoke, and there are children there. This is not a relationship," said another. On camera, this is a crisis. Bino did not quietly disappear into the background following the split. He exploded. Dragging coin like a man scorned and armed with receipts, he went live after live. He accused her of being a bad mother, called her unclean, and categorically branded her toxic. He spoke with the ferocity and rawness of a guy who has experienced something unholy. The internet went crazy, and Chrisean retaliated more forcefully just when others believed he had gone too far. She wouldn't allow him to dictate the narrative. Even her own admirers were taken aback by her unvarnished remark. She acknowledged that the entire relationship was phony, stating that it was only business and not love or passion. "I no longer wanted to engage in the phony PR relationship for financial gain, therefore I stopped going out with you. This whole thing was for clout," she claimed. "In addition to being an idiot, you were also really ugly." That was the end of it. The internet went crazy. This was not a breakup anymore. It was a conflict. An online bloodbath that took place in comment sections, tweets, and live streams. Now, let's face it, Chrisean Rock and chaos are pretty much interchangeable. Every action she takes has made headlines since she became pregnant with Chrisean Jr. It has been one scandal after another, ranging from alleged drug use to violent altercations with the Blueface family. What should have been a private pregnancy became a full-fledged public circus. She suggested that Blueface was the father, but Blueface immediately denied it. As direct as ever, he even went online. "Rock and I are formally done, it's all business. It is not mine," she says before revealing she's expecting someone else's child. Next followed the notorious quote that went viral on the internet. According to Blueface, she dated 10 different men during that year. He stated, "Until I see a DNA test, it is not mine." He even made fun of the possibility that she might be drinking while expecting, referring to it as a warning sign rather than a blue-faced baby. TikTok was overrun with memes in a matter of hours. In less than a day, a video with the title, "When You Realize You Dodged a Baby Scandal," had over 1 million views. And Blueface mother Carissa Saffel jumped in just when folks thought things couldn't get much messier. In an attempt to refute everything, she referred to the entire pregnancy as a fabrication. She wrote, "Absolutely not pregnant. That man's license will be revoked for permitting such an exercise." Her remarks seemed icy and manipulative. Then, because money kept them silent, she targeted Chrisean's sister Tessa, accusing her of doing nothing but watching and observing the purported substance used during pregnancy. Then the internet breaking moment arrived. Her ex-boyfriend Ronnie Doe shared a picture of himself with the kid after gave birth, and the similarity was amazing. "You are not the father," crying face man shrugging at Blueface at a fish show, was the caption he posted. "This is going to become insane, so thank God in advance." An entire fire was started by that one post. Screenshots proliferate very quickly. One subject is being debated on gossip blogs, TikTok stitching, and Twitter threads. Who is the father? After remaining silent for days, Blueface eventually spoke. He smirked in vindication as he reposted the picture. He said, "Until I saw this, I thought I was tripping too." In a way, she exposed herself. "The finest news I've received this year is this: I'm free." The internet was broken by that one comment. The memes came flooding in. Revisions to the year's biggest storyline twist was celebrated by Blueface breaking free and a flurry of YouTube and gossip pages. One of the most chaotic scandals in the history of current hip-hop relationships had developed from what had begun as a rumor. And Chrisean Rock was in the middle of it all, demonstrating once more that there is always a camera in the middle of pandemonium. Everything changed after the revelation. This time, the vibe was different. It was heavier, darker, and more definitive. Blueface and Chrisean had been living their love lives like an unrestricted reality show for months. Their relationship was characterized by public breakdowns, tearful reconciliations, and arguments on live feeds. On Monday, they would split up, but by Friday, they would be seen together, laughing as if nothing had occurred. However, there was no laughter this time. Blueface's response to the baby issue was not one of anger, it was fatigue. The kind of fatigue that results from a prolonged love of chaos. Supporters observed his rapid acceptance of the fact that the child was not his. He seemed almost relieved, as though he had been waiting for an excuse to leave for good. Blueface took to the internet to celebrate his liberation, but Chrisean did something wholly uncharacteristic. She stopped talking on Instagram Live, stopped crying, stopped posting mysterious captions, and simply remained silent. That silence sounded deafening to a woman who expressed her feelings loudly. But suddenly, things turned upside down once more. Due to a probation breach, Blueface ended up in prison. The internet went crazy. Drama follows him like a shadow, according to fan jokes. For Chrisean, it was something completely different from what others referred to as karma. No one remains to share the stage, which is open. Then she took an unimaginable action. She entered a tattoo parlor and once more permanently inked her anguish on her body. It was larger this time, though. Her cheek was covered in a huge full-face tattoo of a blue face. In the past, she had taken off an old one to represent recovery and progress. Now, though, she took a risk. Her face was directly exposed to the image of Thean, who had refused to have her child. The internet froze when she posted it. It wasn't an adorable initial or sign. It was his whole portrait. It was a vicious blowback. The comments came flooding in. This is an affection. This is an obsession. Another stated, she's ruining her face for a man who already said he's free. She lost a lot of followers, disappointed. Those who had formerly praised her unadulterated genuineness started unfollowing her. What appeared to be a proclamation of love turned into a worldwide intervention. Influencers, gossip outlets, and mental health specialists all contributed. The story changed. Chrisean had lost her authenticity and bravery. Now she was spiraling and lost. Then, never one to hold back, arrived T.I. Kemp. Her voice cut like a razor through the cacophony as she jumped on her live feed. "You had 2 years to run around and fight everybody," she added to Chrisean. "So that infant can learn to crawl, let him go to nursery. Instead of meltdowns, we're looking for milestones." The words were powerful. In a matter of hours, they became viral. TikTok and YouTube were inundated with T.I.'s speech clips, which sparked argument after debate. Chrisean had a past with TIA. Their online battle, which had dominated gossip blogs since 2024, was all but legendary. The moment T.I. instructed her, "Be a mother first," was still recalled by many. She was now doubling down with even more volume. Chrisean was no longer able to remain silent. She went live late one night, her voice cracking and her eyes puffy. "You people have no idea what I endure," she remarked, her voice trembling with pain. "Everyone wants to chat, but no one is willing to assist. I adore my child. I'm not any less of a mother just because I have a tattoo." Although her devoted followers showered the comments with prayers and hearts, several of them acknowledged that they were concerned. TikTok psychologists started examining her in real time, saying she was utilizing tattoos, fights, impulsive behavior, and chaos as coping mechanisms for her deeper suffering. Others accused social media of transforming hardship into amusement. In a widely shared video, one expert said that the internet rewards breakdowns. "We applaud their suffering before labeling them insane." And the rumored true father, Ronnie Doe, resurfaced just when everyone believed things could not get much messier. He appeared on Instagram Live, beaming and responding to fan inquiries as if he'd been waiting for the moment. "You can already notice the similarity, man." He chuckled. "However, it's cool if she wants to take the test. I'm not escaping it." The internet exploded. Headlines like "Ronnie Doe claims he's the real father of Chrisean's baby" went viral on blogs, with followers comparing infant photos, focusing on facial features, and debating in days-long discussions. Twitter became an evidence board. Some praised him for taking the initiative. He was accused by others of pursuing celebrity by using a child's name. Chrisean, Blueface's mother, was unable to avoid joining the circus. In an Instagram post, she wrote, "Some truths hurt, but they also heal." The internet took it right away as evidence that she trusted Ronnie's account. In an attempt to get more information, fans started tagging her in every post. She didn't say anything, allowing her single sentence to do all the harm. Blueface, meantime, sat in prison, silent, aloof, and inaccessible. His management provided sporadic updates, but the individual remained silent, which exacerbated the situation. The mystery deepened. Was his relationship with Chrisean permanent? Had he checked out entirely, or was he shielding her from the mayhem? The space was filled with rumors. According to several insiders, he intended to sever relations as soon as he left. He was still speaking to her in private, others muttered. However, the internet had already decided on its story, regardless of the facts. Blueface had gotten away, and Kim was destroying herself. Then, right when everyone thought she had permanently broken down, Chrisean reappeared, happy this time. She was seen laughing with pals on a net in a video that went viral, and she said, "They always got something to say about me, but I'm still going to do me." That video went viral on the internet. Her tenacity was lauded by half of social media users, who described her as courageous, genuine, and unbothered. She was accused of living in denial by the other half. YouTubers analyzed her behavior for hours on end, referring to her as a case study of celebrity chaos. Her movies were combined by TikTok producers with phrases such as, "When toxicity becomes your identity." She became satisfied with every breath she took and every word she said. Living her life was no longer enough for her. She was acting out her suffering, and the world was unable to turn away, whether she was aware of it or not. It was no longer a love triangle by this time. The tragedy was contemporary. A public case study of what transpires when tragedy, celebrity, and love encounter in the glaring online light. The world was no longer only witnessing a split. Two persons were being watched as they unraveled in real time. For millions of strangers, Chrisean's every choice was performance art. She was described by some as a shattered girl who had been molded by a cruel environment. She was addicted to attention, according to others. Perhaps both were correct. Perhaps in that suffering lay the truth. The paternity storm subsided. However, the sound continued unabated. It was replaced with new rumors. Rumors of a return to reality TV, rumors of a new record. There were rumors that she was drawing inspiration from the turmoil. Her Instagram page featured snippets from the studio. Verse about broken love, survival, and treachery. They don't know the whole story, but they believe they understand my suffering. Her voice was gruff and aggressive as she rapped. She was applauded by some fans for transforming suffering into art. Some people rolled their eyes. "Girl, go raise your child." The cycle was endless, one commenter stated. She made a post. They passed judgment. She answered. They dissected. The internet quickly discovered a fresh ethical argument to support her. Motherhood. Timelines were overflowing with parenting bloggers, influencers, and self-described experts who used her as an example of what happens when pain and celebrity collide. Some claimed that while the world refused to accept her, she was still recovering and learning how to be a mother. Others were harsh, saying that her behavior demonstrated her ineptitude. However, Chrisean's tone shifted throughout. She muttered, "I don't care what people think," during one live video. "I adore my child. I adore who I love, and I love myself." Exhaustion had taken the place of the fire in her voice. It sounded more like resignation than defiance. The circus then resumed once Blueface was released from prison. He was surrounded by cameras outside the courthouse. He grinned as reporters yelled inquiries about the infant. He said, "Ask her," and turned to leave. That two-word answer set the internet ablaze. He later tweeted incoherently, "When freedom is genuine and the truth is constantly shown, it feels different. You simply must wait." Screenshots never expire, even after he erased them. Fans saw those words as his final cuts, evidence that he was finished. Others claimed it was merely one more act in an endless tale. Everyone appeared to be caught in the same cycle. Pain feeding fame, celebrity feeding agony. Following his brief period of viral fame, Ronnie Du vanished back into the background. With veiled remarks about Chrisean, baby mama lies, and fake love, Blueface resumed his musical career. She continued to live loudly, posting a picture of a newborn laughing one day, followed by cryptic remarks about loyalty the next. She was no longer a person on the internet. She was happy. In an unending courtroom known as the algorithm, every tattoo, every breakdown, and every quiet became evidence. This story ultimately had nothing to do with paternity. It was about the transformation of human suffering into amusement. The same supporters who had formerly cheered for their beloved were now too enthralled to turn away, like onlookers at a traffic accident. The emotional harm could not be repaired. Not because of the father's identity, but because of how thoroughly their privacy had been violated. Nevertheless, they continued to write because, in their universe, being silent equates to being irrelevant, and being irrelevant equates to dying. Things calmed down a few months later, but they never really stopped. Every time Chrisean shared a picture of her child, someone would remark, "He looks like Ronnie." "You free now, huh?" was the response that appeared each time Blueface released a song. The internet is unforgiving. It doesn't forget. It only awaits the following chapter. Previously, T.I. Kemp was her loudest. In a subsequent interview, the reviewer softened when she said, "I don't hate that girl. I just wish she'd see her worth outside of him." No one anticipated how deeply their remarks struck. The video was repeatedly played back by fans. The same people who used to make fun of Chrisean are now praying that she will get better. No one knows if she will ever find that tranquility. Her tale will, however, always be available online. An untidy, fascinating tale of turmoil, celebrity, and love that merged until it was impossible to distinguish between the two. And it occurred right when it seemed like the internet had advanced. "What are you doing?" During her live video, a voice said, "We want to see if he's crawling." It was thought Toto be naive, a mother and son developing a bond. However, that one query set off a chain reaction. Concerned viewers swarmed the comments section. Why does he still not hold his head? The comments section. Why does he still not hold his head? Would never prevail in the empathy of the internet continent to brutality. Then the tipping point arrived. An online leak purportedly involved a medical record. More quickly than anyone could stop it, it spread. Fetal alcohol syndrome was the word that blazed over the screen. It was enough to ignite the world, whether it was true or not. The rumor had turned into evidence. According to the documentation, there were issues, developmental delays, and private facts that should never have been made public. Chrisean's name trended once more overnight. This time in addition to terms like consequence, guilt, and neglect. Her attorneys begged for confidentiality. Her detractors said she was vindicated. Comment sections become battlefields.